it's Kristen. Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today's video is going to be kind of a first impression and look inside of the brand new edition of the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level 1. So last year my daughter did the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level K. We absolutely loved it. I did a little review video on it. I can link down below and in the little cards up here. If you watch that video, you know that we loved that curriculum. I felt like it was very thorough. It had a nice blend of activities and just switched it up day to day to make it to where it was not just the same things over and over again, and I really appreciated that about the curriculum. So this language arts curriculum covers phonics, reading, spelling, writing, literature, grammar, punctuation, and art appreciation. So all of that in this is the main course book. It also comes with a level 1 reader and then these phonics card sets. I'll show you what that looks like. They're perforated and you just tear them out and they look like this. So first let's take a look inside of the course book. So because this is a new edition, it just came out last week. I ordered it as soon as it got on the website. I didn't want them to run out because obviously I'm planning to use this for my daughter this year. But I just wanted to go over how this edition differs from past editions. So I felt like the Level K and the original or last edition, I guess, I felt like there were a few things that could be improved upon. I really loved it, and even if they hadn't improved upon it, I would have kept using it. But there were just a couple small things that I thought could have been better, and it looks like in this edition, you know, I must not be the only person who felt that way because they have fixed everything, and I think this is going to be just spot on perfect. One of the things that's new is that the course is now divided into daily lessons of about the same length. So if you've done the past edition or you watched my video maybe, you would know that the lessons in the previous edition were all different lengths. So some of them we would need to stretch out over like 3 days, and then some of them were so short it took us 10 minutes to do. So these are all more uniform, which I really appreciate that. And it says you'll finish the course in a school year if you complete 1 lesson per day, 4 days a week, which I love that. And it also says, you know, don't feel pressure to complete a lesson in a day, which I totally agree with that. I think you really need to watch your child and see how they're taking it, how they're, you know, are they enjoying it? Are they getting too tired? You know, just watch them for cues. And you know what, if you need to put the book away for the day, no big deal. Another update is that the daily checklist is now incorporated into each lesson. So in the last one, you needed to go through and do your sight words every day, the phonics cards every day, poetry memorization, and spelling. And you know, you kind of had to flip to the front of the book and also remember to do those things. It wasn't just like open to the lesson and do it. It was like, oh, we got to go to the front and do the, you know, the spelling words and, you know, all those things. Well, now they're incorporated into the lesson so you won't forget it. Another change it says is that principles are introduced more slowly, and review is incorporated into most lessons, which is great. They also cut out the mini books. So in the Level K, they still have the little mini books that go along with the lessons, but in the Level 1 they no longer have them. You just have this reader which goes along with what they're learning in the lesson, which is great. The reader just looks amazing. I'm super excited for my daughter to start in on this, and we'll go over that and look inside of it in just a minute. The Level 1 reader has been revised and it's now integrated and required part of the course. So before it wasn't required, it was just an optional add-on, but now you really do need it. It goes hand in hand with the course. The lessons are shorter and include more activities, which is awesome. And most of the lessons now include independent practice, which is great. So especially like I said before, if you have multiple children, you need to move on and work with somebody else. They have it's not very long, just a little bit of work at the end of the lesson for them to be able to kind of explain it to them and then let them go and just do it themselves, which I think is great. Gentle practice and getting them, you know, ready for the later grades when they are going to be doing a lot of the work on their own more independently. So I think that's a great update to this edition. Some grammar principles have been removed. They removed prepositions, commas in a series, and commas in dates as well. But they teach that thoroughly in Level 2. So they're not going to miss out on it. You know, they're still going to get it. I guess it just may be more age appropriate for them to get it in the Level 2. So we move on to the About This course. It talks about all that it covers: phonics, reading, spelling, writing, grammar, punctuation, literature, poetry, memorization, art appreciation. Goes over just an overview, some principles behind the course, some commonly asked questions. Talks about using the level 1 reader and how to use it. Spelling, just, stuff to read before you start the course. It does suggest that you read aloud to your child 10 minutes a day, which is not very much, and definitely everyone can benefit from doing that for sure. You can do that with all of your children together. I like to do that in the morning time. I made a video about that I'll also link down below if you want to watch it. We have a basket that we fill with interesting books and Bible stories and poetry and things like that, and we go through and I read aloud every day and all that, and our family really loves that. And then it just tells you about the phonics cards. It moves on to the sight word ladders. And the new edition, there are units. So there's a nice little unit overview at the beginning of the units telling, the spelling words you're going to be working on, supplies that you're going to need. I love that. I love to be prepared. I don't like to open something and realize I needed, cotton balls and I didn't have them or whatever it is. So I love it when we can be prepared. It just goes over everything that they're going to work on during this unit, as well as the stories they're going to read in the level 1 reader. And then we just move on to the lesson. So as I told you, here's the prompt for practicing the phonics cards, and then the the stuff written in black is what you're going to read to the child. And just going over, here's a little bit of independent practice. Long and short vowels. You're going to practice sight word ladders in the lesson too. All of it is full of beautiful art, fun illustrations, these cute little squirrels, activities and things that just reinforce what you're learning. I love it. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. And then along the way, they do have assessments. It will prompt you to give your child an assessment, and in the back of the book, in the appendix, are the assessments. So it just prompts you to do them. Really simple. I love that you can see the progress that your child's making in that way. It's a very neat way of doing that. Now let's take a peek inside of the level 1 reader. So of course the illustrations are wonderful. It says that the reader is designed to be used alongside the level 1 course book. Stories are arranged in the order that they appear in the course book and coordinate with principles taught in level 1. Children should read each story when prompted by the lesson, but may choose to reread the stories if desired. These stories are adorable, and I love that they have some meaning to them, a little something behind them, not just like Matt sat on a cat and, the kids are kind of like, what? Why am I even reading this? This actually has a story, which makes it more interesting for the child and more interesting for the parent who is listening to the child read. So these are full. It looks like Jenny Phillips actually wrote all of these, which is really neat. And she's the creator of The Good and the Beautiful. And they all have fantastic illustrations, of course, and just great stories. Next, let's talk about the phonics cards. So it comes with a little sheet that tells you which ones you're going to need for which level. So these are good for levels K through 2, and they're just perforated cards. I'll show you here that you just take apart, and it explains to you in the course how to use them. You kind of group them together in ones that you're working on, ones that they've mastered, and then maybe a bag for them to be reviewed as well, so you make sure that you're keeping track and going back and reviewing them. So it looks like this, and then the back of it here looks like that. So I hope you enjoyed this first impression kind of look inside of the brand new edition of The Good and the Beautiful Language Arts. I hope it was helpful to you to look inside of it and just kind of see what it's all about, maybe what some of the changes that they made are. I'm very excited to use it this year. I would love to hear from you in the comments. I love getting comments and talking to other homeschooling mothers about what they're using, different curriculums. And if you have any questions, of course, you can ask me that as well. But I'm planning a few more homeschooling videos coming up, just kind of different curriculum choices that we're using for the coming year, handwriting, history, science, math, that kind of thing. So if that interests you, I would love it if you would hit subscribe and stick around. I also like making cooking videos, like real food recipes, healthy desserts, DIY, projects, home design, things like that. I really love that stuff. So if you're interested, I would love it if you would subscribe and stick around and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.